Good morning. Welcome to Monday Morning Coffee and Chat with Hallee Bridgeman. I'm so happy you could join me. I'm late this morning. It's almost 11. I have already had a cup of coffee, so this is not my first cup of coffee today. But I just have had a really busy morning and lots of stuff going on. My son Scott, for those of you who follow my social media, is still at home with pneumonia. And he is going to be home at least until tomorrow. And so that's kind of taking up my time. And I don't know, I don't work normal when people are around. So today I'm answering the question, if I had, or since I have an autistic son, would I ever write a book about a child with autism? And so uh, I think that probably I would be willing to write a book with a main character with autism before I'd write a book with a child with autism. Because I have a feeling that if I wrote a book with a child with autism, what would happen is I would end up making it like this how to book or this mama, you can get through it book, or, whatever the case may be. And uh, I just don't, I wouldn't want it to turn into that. And so I would probably be more likely to go into an adult character as part of the romance with a child with autism. And I'm contemplating, when I write my World War II Pacific series, I'm contemplating having one of those main characters in that set of novellas that I'll write to be autistic. Uh, I think that that would be really fun to do, especially in the sense of being a spy and uh, using some of the hyper focused intelligence that has a um, like my son Scott can tell you everything there is to know about the peanuts. The other day, Greg and I, we go to trivia night. We have a blast. We have such a good time. Well, one of the questions was, what was Lucy and Linus's last name in the Peanuts cartoons? And Greg and I were like, oh man, if only Scott were with us, he would know this answer. And uh, it's Van something. I don't even remember it now. Anyway, so we come home, and one of my best friends, Melissa, was coming to visit us, and she had just gotten in town. She had someone with her I had never met before. She was dropping her daughter off to spend the weekend with us while she went to a conference. And I was like, oh, Scott, by the way, this was one of our questions tonight. What was Linus and Lucy's last name? And that child spent the next, I'm not exaggerating, 2.5 hours telling Melissa's friend, whom I had never met before, all about the peanuts, all of these interesting little tidbits of information. I don't know, everything that they could possibly, you cannot even comprehend the amount of knowledge that that child has about the peanuts. And then I felt really bad because I had started the conversation, and I apologized to her. She's like, that's fine. I have a son with Down syndrome. I love special needs kids. But that said, there's things that Scott just um, he can't do because his brain doesn't do it right. And so, his tested IQ is actually kind of low. And in fact, it was so low that we don't even claim it as a number because we know his IQ is higher than that. It's just how he is tested. And so he's able to retain information on things that interest him. He doesn't retain information on things that don't because he doesn't care, and he's not willing to devote the energy into remembering it. And that's basically how it works. And so I think that having a spy with that kind of hyper focused intelligence in a specific area, whatever it may be, because I don't really know yet because I haven't really thought through the plot in such a thorough way yet. But I think that someone like that will be completely fun to write as a character. And I would love to do a character that had autism in a romance. There are so many ways that that can be done in a way that that can open the door of autism to people who never would have experienced it before. There's ways that I could do a love story, that I could do with, the emotional aspect, with um, the things that inhibit kids with autism or people with autism. And uh, I I think that it would in the end be like a really great book. Um, and so that's like on the back burner right now. I haven't like fully committed to doing it, but I'm just not sure. Um, my friend Cherokee in the comments just said that she's thought about writing a book with her adult autistic son, and I think that would be fun. Scott is an artist and he draws comics. He has a series of comic books and he has a desire to have his comics published. He also wants to write a cookbook with me. He would just foods that Scott loves or something. I don't remember what he named it, but he wants to tie that in. He wants to like do the graphics inside of drawing the cooking part. And so when he gets older and more mature in his drawing, that's something that we will definitely do together. Um, but honestly, I think that if it was a kid, if I was writing like the parents of an autistic kid, it would end up being a parenting how-to book. And I am nowhere near qualified to write that. And I just I wouldn't have fun writing it. So I hope that answers your question. Thank you for that question. If you have a question for me, go to my website, halleebridgeman.com. And on the sidebar, there's a picture of a coffee cup. And if you click that, it'll take you to where you can ask me a question. So I hope you guys have a great day. I'm so sorry to be late this morning. And I will see you next week. God bless you.